So you want us to question everything, challenge everything. That's what we need to do. We need to all wake up as individuals and start being part of this debate, everything that's happening around us. Is that really what you want?
Yeah. Instead of taking people's word for it, including mine, including anybody's, certainly including governments and corporations and media, if you haven't got time to research it for yourself immediately, then put it into neutral. Don't believe it or disbelieve it, but don't react as if it's true. Just put it in neutral until you've had time to check it out for yourself. And when you do, you'll realize invariably, as I did, that the official story, the official narratives are invariably either completely, most of the time, total lies or overwhelmingly misleading. And crucial, because of what we were talking about earlier, don't be intimidated into silence. Don't. Because if you silence yourself, eventually everything goes silent. When people are telling you what you can't say it louder, say it more often. And if people around you don't like it, well, find another circle of friends then. Because there are more and more people that you will find if you look for them, because more and more people are awakening to this. And like I said earlier, you can get the impression from the people that control the microphones and the cameras that there is a certain view of the world which is different from yours. But you talk to enough people and you'll realize that behind this reticence to speak their truth, they feel the same as you do behind your reticence to speak your truth. I went to a bookshop years ago in the middle of the mass ridicule. It was in Oxford. And the manager came up to me. He said, "I have a very interesting thing today," he said. He said, "What I did is because I was right at the center of mass ridicule then. He said, I asked the staff what they thought of David Icke. And I said, look, just tell me honestly, just tell me honestly what you think. He said about 80% had sympathy for what you're saying, but none of them was saying it to anybody else. And that's what's happening to society in general. There is a vast number of people who don't want what's happening, who feel uneasy about what's happening, who don't want to have themselves intimidated into silence. But they think they're kind of one of the few. They're not. But because people are silent, they understandably think they are, because the noise is coming from the few who dominate the microphones and the cameras. So we need to speak our truth. And you look at all these kids, it's so sad, who, the suicide rates among young people are going up. And they're all going up significantly in the social media, smartphone era. And they're being psychologically broken by the abuse, by not being what others say they should be and not living up to what others say they should be. That can only happen when we allow ourselves to be self-defined by other people. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it, kids. Don't do it. Don't fall for it. It's a scam. We need to define ourselves. I am my unique self. I don't want to be like anyone else. I am a point of attention with an infinite state of consciousness, therefore an infinite state of perception. I am a unique expression of that consciousness, as you are and as everyone else is. I'm going to celebrate that uniqueness. I don't have to join the herd and be like everyone else because the herd tells me I must join the herd. I don't join herds, thank you very much. I define myself. Don't define yourself by the herd, because if you do, you become the herd. And when you become the herd, your unique self is gone, because your perceptions and what you are communicating as your perceptions are not yours anymore. They're the herd's perceptions. They're what whoever controls the herd, that's the point, is dictating those perceptions to be. And we are in an extraordinarily extreme situation now of the carrot and the stick. You get the carrot if you conform to the herd and you do what the herd demands. You get the stick if you don't. Well, I've taken the stick for 30 years, and I can tell you, it don't hurt. Unless you choose to believe it does, right? I've had historic levels of abuse. I've not been upset by it. I've not been offended by it because I am my unique self. And if you're a unique self, then other people who are coming from a different point of view will think you're strange. They'll think you're crazy. They'll think you're dangerous. But that's for them to sort out. That's for them to work out. Not for me to work out. I'm just being me. And if you are celebrating your personal uniqueness, no matter what size you are, how tall you are, what you look like, what color you are, what religion you have, it doesn't matter. You're celebrating your unique self. Then whatever anyone tells you you must believe, what you must do, what you must think, however people are abusive towards you for what you look like or what you are, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter because you are in your own power of individual uniqueness. And that's what's being driven out of people, because it has to be. They have to get us into groups, into herds, ultimately in a global herd, so that we'll move as one unit. And here's an analogy. I stood one day and I saw this shepherd walking across this field towards a gate with his stick. One shepherd, one sheepdog. Enormous flock of sheep. And they're following the shepherd. And any of the sheep that were breaking out of the pack, the sheepdog sorted them out. And what did that represent? Fear. And they were following the shepherd, and they went through the gate and they went across to the farm. And I looked at it and I thought, that's humanity passing by, because exactly the same happens, because we concede our uniqueness to it. I would say this, first of all, if you don't give in to fear, abuse and all that stuff, symbolized by the sheepdog, what's the sheepdog going to do? Rope, 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 rope. And? Rope, 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 rope. And? Where's the sheepdog's power? Right? And then, what if the sheep following the shepherd, because they do every day, oh, this is life, this is what you do, you follow the shepherd. What if they said, I'm going to see what's over here? And another one says, I'm going to see what's over here. I'm fed up of following the shepherd and conforming to what I'm told to do and go where I'm going over here. The shepherd, symbolizing the elite, controlling the world, controlling society, what's he going to bloody do? He's standing there now with his stick and he's seeing sheep going off in all directions. He don't know where to start. Because his power was illusory. The power of this elite is illusory. The power this elite recycles back against us is the power we give to the elite every day. And so if people cease to cooperate with their own enslavement, by when the system says do this, I'm not doing it. Someone comes out of Downing Street or the White House and they say, we've had a discussion, this is what's going to happen. What if enough people say, we're not doing it? Not doing it. Where's their power? Their power is in our acquiescence to them, as the power of the shepherd is in the sheep's acquiescence to him and the intimidation of the fear of the sheepdog. The few cannot control the many unless the many cooperate with their own enslavement. We need to stop doing it. And when we do, it's over, kaput, finished. And that's why this cabal is so terrified of the communication of information that is going to alert humanity to its plight. Because it knows that when humanity becomes aware of the game is over. And it can be over even in the latter stages of this enslavement agenda, it can still be over when we withdraw our acquiescence to it.